You know that feeling when you walk into a room and suddenly can't remember why you're there? Or maybe you struggle to recall a name that's right on the tip of your tongue. If that sounds familiar, don't worry. You're not alone. As we get older, it's natural for our brains to slow down a little. But here's the good news. Just like a muscle, your brain can stay strong and sharp with the right kind of exercise. That's why today we're talking about the secret to a sharp mind after 50, 6 brain games that actually work. These aren't just random puzzles. These are science-backed, fun, and easy ways to keep your memory sharp, your thinking clear, and even boost your mood. And the best part? You can start doing them today, no fancy equipment or expensive programs needed. So let's dive in. The first brain game is one you might already be doing without realizing how powerful it is. 1. The power of crossword puzzles, but with a twist. Now I know what you're thinking. Crossword puzzles? Really? That's nothing new. But here's the thing. Not all puzzles are created equal. If you've been doing the same crossword in your daily newspaper for years, your brain has probably gotten a little too comfortable with it. The key is challenge. Researchers have found that to really give your brain a workout, you need to push yourself just beyond what feels easy. So, if you usually do quick, simple crosswords, try switching to a more difficult one. Or better yet, mix it up with a variety of word games, like Sudoku, cryptograms, or even word searches. The idea is to keep your brain guessing, learning, and adapting. And here's a pro tip. Try doing them with a timer. Set aside 10 minutes and see how much you can complete. It adds a little pressure, the good kind, that forces your brain to focus and think faster. 2. The 20 Questions Memory Booster. This next game is so simple, you can play it anywhere. Waiting in line, sitting in the car, or even while doing dishes. It's called the 20 Questions game, and here's how it works. Pick an object in the room, let's say a coffee mug. Now, ask yourself 20 questions about it. What color is it? Where was it made? When did I buy it? Who gave it to me? What's it used for? At first, this might seem silly, but here's why it works. Your brain thrives on making connections. The more details you recall, the stronger those neural pathways become. It's like giving your memory a little jog around the block. And if you really want to level up, try this with people. Think of a friend or family member and ask yourself 20 things about them. Their favorite food, their childhood home, the last time you spoke. You'll be amazed at how much this strengthens recall over time. Now, before we move on to the next brain game, I want you to try something. Take a quick break, look around the room, and play one round of the 20 Questions game right now. See how many details you can pull up. It's these little moments of mental exercise that add up to a sharper, more resilient mind. And speaking of resilience, our next brain game is all about speed. Because sometimes, thinking fast is just as important as thinking deep. But we'll get into that in just a moment. You know, one of the biggest myths about aging is that our brains just naturally slow down, and there's nothing we can do about it. But here's what science tells us. Your brain is adaptable at any age. It's not about how old you are, it's about how you use it. And that brings us to our next 2 brain games, designed to sharpen your thinking speed and unlock creativity you didn't even know you had. 3. The speed sorting game. Train your brain to think faster. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to process information almost instantly? It's not necessarily that they're smarter. They've just trained their brains to react quickly. And you can do the same with a simple exercise I call speed sorting. Here's how it works. Grab a deck of cards or even just a stack of random household items. Shuffle them. Then sort them as fast as you can into categories. With cards, you might sort by suit, hearts, diamonds, clubs, spades. With household items, you could sort by color, size, or use. The key is to time yourself and try to beat your own record. Why does this work? Because rapid decision-making forces your brain to fire on all cylinders. You're not just recognizing patterns, you're acting on them quickly, which builds neural efficiency. Start with 30 seconds per round, then challenge yourself to do it in 20. You'll be amazed how much sharper you feel after just a few tries. Quick tip, if you want to make it even more fun, compete with a friend or family member. A little friendly competition adds excitement. And laughter is also great for your brain. 4. The storytelling workout. Unlock your inner novelist. Now, let's switch gears from speed to creativity. One of the best ways to keep your mind agile is to tell stories, not just listen to them, but create them on the spot. This isn't about writing a best-selling novel, though you could. It's about flexing your imagination in everyday moments. Try this. Next time you're out for a walk or sitting in a park, pick a random person or object and invent a quick backstory for it. That man walking his dog? Maybe he's a retired detective solving one last case. That rusty old bike locked to a fence? Perhaps it belonged to a teenager who rode it across the country. The crazier, the better. The goal isn't realism. It's about making your brain connect ideas in new ways. Studies show that creative storytelling improves divergent thinking, your ability to see multiple solutions to a problem. And bonus, it's also a fantastic way to lift your mood. Pro tip, if you're feeling stuck, use a prompt. For example, what if animals could talk? What would your pet say about you? Or if you found a suitcase full of money, what would happen next? Run with it. Now, before we move on to our final 2 brain games, I want you to try something. Tonight, when you're winding down, take 5 minutes to tell yourself a quick, silly story, out loud or in your head. See how it feels. You might just surprise yourself with what your brain comes up with when you let it play. And speaking of play, our next 2 games are all about social connection and strategy. Because a sharp mind isn't just about thinking well alone, but also engaging with the world around you. But we'll dive into those next. You know, there's something truly special about watching 2 chess players deep in thought, carefully considering every move. That intensity, that focus, that's your brain at its very best. And that brings us to our final 2 brain games, because keeping your mind sharp isn't just about solo exercises. Some of the most powerful brain boosters come when we engage with others and challenge ourselves with strategic thinking. 5. The reverse charades social workout, laughter plus brain power. Now, we've all played charades, but have you ever tried it backwards? Here's how it works. Instead of one person acting out a word for others to guess, the whole group acts it out together while one person guesses. It sounds simple, but here's why it's magic for your brain. First, you're working as a team, which means you're practicing quick communication and cooperation. Second, you're forced to think creatively under pressure. How can we all together show roller coaster or popcorn? And third, perhaps most importantly, you're laughing. Real, belly-deep laughter that reduces stress hormones and actually helps your brain form new connections. Try this. Next family gathering or senior center visit, suggest a round of reverse charades. Use simple words at first, then get more challenging. The beautiful part? You're building memories while strengthening your mind. A true win-win. 6. The 3-move strategy game. Think like a chess master. Our final game doesn't require a chessboard, though it uses the same kind of strategic thinking. I call it the 3-move strategy game, and you can play it anywhere, anytime. Here's how it works. Whatever you're doing, whether it's organizing your pills for the week, planning a grocery list, or even arranging flowers in a vase, challenge yourself to think 3 moves ahead. For example, if I put the milk here in the fridge, how will that affect where I put the juice? If I take my walk at 10 a.m. instead of 2 p.m., how might that change my whole day? If I call Martha today instead of tomorrow, what conversation might that lead to? This isn't just about being organized. It's about training your brain to anticipate, strategize, and see the bigger picture. Studies show that people who regularly practice this kind of forward thinking maintain better cognitive function well into their later years. Pro tip: start small with this one. Maybe just once a day, pick a routine activity and consciously think 3 steps ahead. You'll be amazed at how quickly this becomes second nature. Now, let's take a moment to bring this all together. We've covered 6 powerful brain games. Challenging crossword variations. The 20 questions memory booster. Speed sorting for quick thinking. Creative storytelling. Social reverse charades. 3-move strategy thinking. But here's the most important thing to remember. You don't need to do all of these every day. Even incorporating just 1 or 2 into your routine can make a remarkable difference over time. Your brain is like a garden. It doesn't need constant, back-breaking work, just regular, loving attention. I'd love to hear which of these games you try first. Drop a comment below, sharing your experiences. Did you invent a particularly funny story during the storytelling game? Did reverse charades have your whole group in stitches? Your stories inspire all of us here. If you found this helpful, give this video a thumbs up. It helps others find this important information. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell, because we've got plenty more tips coming to help you live your most vibrant, fulfilling life after 50, 60, and beyond. Remember, age is just a number, but a sharp mind? That's timeless. Here's to many more years of curiosity, learning, and joy. Now go out there and give your brain the workout it deserves.